Hello, welcome to this tutorial about Google Sites, the all-new Google website creation program. Since you all have access to the Google Suite for Education, we are able to create our own websites here in Middleborough. My name is Louis Steinberg. With me today is Eva Crawford. We're going to be going through some of the very basics about how to create your own Google site. All right, let's get started. Share my screen. Okay. So there are a couple different ways to get to Google Sites. The actual URL for Google Sites is sites.google.com/new. If you don't type new in there, you will be taken to the old Google Sites, which is not so user-friendly. But this website URL will take you to the Google Sites program page. The other way to get here, which is a little bit easier, is if you are back on the Google main page, if you open up your waffle, your little tab, your little apps bar here, this, you will see in the applications that you have access to, down around the fourth or fifth line, we have our sites button. That'll take you directly to the new, no, I take it back. It takes you to the old one. This is what the old one looks like. It's gross. But the new sites is over here on the left. So we can give it a click and it takes us to the new one. Hooray. Cool. As you can see, I've got quite a few already created Google Sites from fifth graders that I was working with last year. We're going to create a new one. So to create a new one, I'm going to look way down bottom right where I've got a big plus sign. Clicking on that will eventually take me here. All right, minimize that. All right, so this is the, I don't know, the blank canvas for your Google site. You have a lot of power here. You can create anything you want for your website if you can imagine it. There's a lot of possibilities here. The very first thing you probably want to do, though, is give your website a name. Otherwise, it will stay untitled and it'll be harder to find later on. So we'll just call this for today, example website 2020. Press the enter key, and my title also comes down onto the website. All right. There's a lot of things to click on, but let's start with the title. Here I can get rid of this text by highlighting it and changing it to my first website. I'm not too happy with the fact that this went on to 2 lines, but that's okay. I can click and drag these little circles on the sides to make this wider. I can try to center it as best I can, and there we go. Looks a little bit better. Now, I'm not too happy with this gray background here. I can change that. Looking over at Change Image, I can upload an image if I have one saved on my computer or in my drive somewhere, or I can select an image from one of the many that they have in their gallery. Let's find something interesting. A little boring. Let's pick, ooh, this computer one looks nice. Select that one and press select. I can also search the internet for a picture as well. I'll just pick one of the ones that are here. All right, looking better already. Now,
I see too, it was adjusting for visibility over here, which is nice.
yes, this little star thing here, yeah, exactly right. It adjusts the website for compatible with whatever screen you're on. So mobile device, tablet, laptop, whatever you have. All right. There are many different kinds of headers, which is what you're seeing here. If I click on the header type, I've got a cover kind, a large, a regular, and a title only. Covers in large are good for your home pages, like I have here. So I might want to choose a cover page instead of a regular banner. I'll pick a large banner for my website here. All right. This is looking pretty good, but right now it's pretty blank other than my title. So I'm going to add some stuff. If I scroll down, I have this white space below here. This is where I can add stuff. There's 2 different ways to add things. The easiest way is to double click in the empty space and we get this little wheel of options. I can add images, text boxes. I can upload things like files or pictures from my Google Drive or my computer. I can also embed hyperlinks or code if I have that power, or I can directly upload things from my drive. Let's start off simple with some text. Let's see, welcome to my first website. Now, this text is a little bit small. Maybe I want to change that from normal text to a different kind of title or heading. So let's make it a title. Nice. And it came out blue because that is the theme for this. All of the titles on this website will be blue. I can change my theme by heading over to the theme section over on the right. And I've got many different themes to choose from. I can even stick with the simple theme and change the colors of my different options here. Let's see, maybe I'll choose Diplomat. Okay, cool.
It definitely does make a difference when you choose a theme. It makes it stand out more.
It does. I like it. All right, let's add a picture down below my first title text here. So I'm going to, again, double click. I have the images option. So let's see. I don't have any pictures on my drive here, so I'm just going to do a Google image search for computer. And there's a good one. It's got a little yellow background. Perfect. Awesome. And like most things, Google, I can resize images. I can even resize this text box too, if it was too big or too small. I can also, on Google Sites here, drag this around anywhere I want it to be. I want it to be in the middle. I want it to be on the right. If I wanted this text box to be smaller and also down here, I can do that as well. If you can imagine it, you can try it. Do it.
I like how they've given us lines in the background so that we can adjust things so that they're even or they're not even, depending on, you know, what you need or what your need is.
It does make it easier to get a sense of scale when you're dealing with this kind of blank slate here. All right, so this is the very basics of creating a web page. Right now, this is only a web page. To make it a website, it needs multiple pages. So let's go on over to the pages section. And you can see I've got my home as my only web page currently. If I go down to my plus sign, I can add a brand new page. Let's call it page 2 and press done. And it opens up, looks a little bit different than my other one. Notice it has this big banner as I had on my first home page. I'm going to change that header to be a little bit more discreet. Might just go title only. So it's a little bit more, this is a content page as opposed to this is a big splashy picture. And I said before there was multiple ways of getting stuff on here. Double clicking is one way to get all these things, but this is only 5 options. If I go over to insert, I see those same 4 options up top here, as well as, if I scroll down, lots and lots and lots of other kinds of things that I could possibly add in here, from YouTube videos to buttons to even image carousels, which is basically a whole bunch of pictures you can scan through quickly. All right, I also have these 6 options called layouts. If I'm not sure what I want my website to look like, my web page here to look like, I can choose from one of these to get me started. Maybe I like this second one here that's got 2 pictures and 2 text boxes below it. Click on that. It automatically puts in space for pictures and space for text. This is very handy as it makes it easier going forward. So let's see, if I click on this plus sign over here, I can let's see, select an image by doing Google search. Let's do another computer. Let's do, I don't know, this one. Insert. Cool. Way too big. That's okay. I can make the picture bigger so it fits. Neat. Just below that, I can click to add text. Computer. Spell that right. And then I've got some subtext even down below here. This is a computer. And so on. So now this looks a little bit more robust. Again, though, it's only as robust as you can make it. It's pretty blank and white right now. I can add background colors to any of these boxes by looking over on the left for section background if I want to give this an emphasis color. I can. And these emphasis colors can be changed over in themes. Right now, my emphasis colors are only set to whatever Diplomat has. But if I don't like this gray, let's see, I think that is this one. Let me change it to a red. And now it's red. Or if I want it to be like a turquoise color, there we go. So you can really customize these as much as you want. All right. Now, when I created that page, it created those pages over here. But how do I get back to the home? Well, a couple different ways. If I click on home, it'll take me to that home page. Although this picture now looks gross, that's okay. But also at the top, I see I've got these two new buttons, home and page 2. Just like navigating on a regular website that's already been created, we can use these buttons to navigate between the pages that I have. Okay, so Ms. Crawford, can you think of anything that I am forgetting here? I'm sure I am.
No, but one thing that I was curious about when you put that picture in there, either behind the picture or in the documentation below it, can you put in a hyperlink to someplace?
Good question.
Look at that.
Yes, so if let's do that to the word computer here. I'm going to select the word computer, and I want this to be a clickable link. I can use this insert link option here. If I click on that, I can make this an actual website like google.com, and it will apply. And if I click on this, it will take me out to Google, which unnecessary at the moment. Oh, come on. There we go. Or I can also make this a hyperlink to another place in my website. Exactly. So if I wanted this to go to the home page, it automatically lets me choose that as an option. So if I click the word computer now, it can take me home to my home page, hopefully. And there it is. Yeah.
And that could be any kind of a document. It could be a web sheet, you know, a sheet from Google. It could be, you know, it could be a drawing someplace.
Absolutely.
It's really helpful if you want to have additional information that's available, but not necessarily right in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I like about this here is you can also put a divider underneath the section that you're on.
So let's try that. So I go ahead and let me get rid of this background color here. Okay, so I went ahead and added a divider. Yep, so it kind of visually separates the space here. So if I wanted to be very clear that this was about computers and down below was about aardvarks, that would be a nice way of visually showing that off.
Right.
Rather than it being all kind of on top of each other.
Yep. And you can put all of those different things that are down the bottom. You could put extra buttons in there that go out to different places. You can put in a slideshow. It's kind of really versatile and fairly simple to use.
So here, I just created a button called the Google button. And if you click on it, it'll take you to Google.
Right.
All right. So let's see. Now, we have created this whole thing, this website, out of 2 pages, but nobody can see it besides myself. Let's go ahead and publish this website. Get rid of this background here. This theme looks gross. There we go.
Oh, that's so much better.
So much. All right, so I want to make this website visible to people. To do that, I use the publish button, which is up here in the top right corner. If I click publish, it shows me this dialog here. Can you see that, Ms. Crawford?
Yep, I can see that. Yep.
It says publish your site, web address is example-website-2020. You notice though, if you look carefully in the gray, it tells you that the actual website URL is this whole thing here, https://sites.google.com/middleborough.k1.us/this
the name of your website.
The website, exactly. So everybody in our school system will be creating websites on sites using this URL opening, and then their website will have their own ending. So if I made it a Mr. Steinberg page, it would still have this opening, but it would have my own ending up there. All right.
Okay, and what about that little thing down the bottom? Because I've never seen that one before. Well, who can view my site?
The manage. Okay. So the who can view, I like to do this with the kids when I show them that you want to, when it's published, right now it's anyone at Middleborough Public Schools can find and view my website. So if I shared the link, or if they were able to search the Middleborough Public Schools website's database, they would find it. But I can also change this. If I want to make a website that is parent facing or just outside the school system facing, I can change to one of these three options. That if I wanted to go more private, that'd be the bottom one, only specific people, like say I was working on something with a co-teacher or an administrator, say for a binder maybe, or if I want anybody in the world to find it and view it, that's the top one, the little world icon. I'm gonna do the world one, why not? Save. So now that's done, press done. I like the website, that looks good. Request public, that's fine, I don't care about that. Just gonna press publish, and I've made my first website, hooray. But what does it look like? It doesn't look like this on the web. What does it look like? Now notice the publish button has changed. If I go to the drop down next to publish, I have a couple more settings. I can unpublish if I don't want my website out there anymore. I can change some of the settings. I can review my changes and then publish again, or I can view what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and click on view published site. So this is what it would look like if I found it out in the wild. So you can see it fills the whole screen with the lovely picture there, my text, and my beautiful computer picture. My navigation buttons are still up top here. If I press page 2, it takes me to page 2 with, again, my lovely pictures. This computer button should take me back home. It does. Go back to page 2 for a second. And this Google button that I made should take me to Google. Let's see. It does. Hooray.
And I like that it opens up into a new tab and it doesn't eliminate the website page.
It doesn't cover over, which is good. All right, so let me exit out of this tab. All right, I'm back home. So that is the basics. You can create a website by the click of a button. You can add things by double clicking. You can add things by inserting them directly. You can create layouts from these standard ones, or you can move things around once you've added them in. You can add new pages by the Pages button. And of course, you can change up your themes over with the Themes tab. So those are the basics. Mrs. Crawford, anything that I may have forgotten?
The only thing that I would think of is on the Pages screen, if for some reason you needed to have a subpage off of that, you can do that over on the right-hand side with the 3 dots. Click on that and it will add a subpage.
Let's try it out. Sub page 1. Let's see what happens. Okay.
Oh.
And if you see up top here, it doesn't add a new navigation button, but if I hover over page 2, it shows me all the subpages related to it. Much like on our Middleborough site, if you hover over, say, the schools button, it drops down a menu of options. But you can still click on the schools button, and it brings you somewhere. This will also bring you page 2. Subpage 1, though, brings you to a whole new subpage. Gets a little confusing, so it's good to practice pretty strict navigation protocols. If you were on page 2, it should be very clear that there are subpages below this that you should be able to click on. So maybe I would add in over here on the text, sub page 2, whatever the topic was. You could follow a link from here to, or not sub page 2. You would be able to follow a link from sub page 1 to the sub page 1 page. So when you are creating pages within pages, be very careful to make them obvious, otherwise things can get confusing.
Right. So I would say naming pages and all the naming conventions, you should be pretty consistent with between pages and subpages, so things don't get confused.
Absolutely. And absolutely. Are there any
All right,
questions?
this is pretty simple. I mean, I think that it's easy to use. We have access to it. We might as well take advantage of it.
Absolutely. So if there are any questions after since I would imagine most of you are watching this well after the fact, if there are any questions, you can reach out to either myself or Miss Crawford. Our emails will be in the agenda notes, and this video we posted probably the same place. If you have any questions, let us know, and we're here for you.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks, and have a good one.